Hi everyone, this is Hani and today I'm going to show you how to make first Holy Communion cookies. These are sugar cookies and I'll be using fresh lemon royal icing to decorate these cookies. You can find the recipe by following a link that you see on the screen. And these cookies are decorated all in white royal icing and all the details are painted on with gold luster dust. And this is my template for my royal icing transfers. So place a piece of wax paper or you could use also acetate sheets or parchment paper for this. And then I'm using royal icing of 15-second consistency and just pipe the outline and then you're gonna flood this small area. Just be careful not to move the icing too much around because outline is still wet, so if you move the icing too much then it will change the outline line and you want to keep it as straight as possible because it's a cross. And then let this dry completely. And once it's dry, you can mix your luster dust. You can mix it with lemon extract or Everclear or rose spirit. You could use spray, but I find luster dust has a more shine to it, so I like to use it. And this is what it looks like when it's dry, so you can peel it off. And you see there is some residue on the side, so you may want to use a little brush and just brush it off. And you can make these ahead of time and store them in an airtight container. And now we can make chalice. So for the chalice, I used a template. I don't have a cutter, and you can find a cutter online, or if you'd like my template, you can also find this template on my blog. And then we can flood the cookie. Again, I'm using royal icing of 15-second consistency, and you can find the recipe by following a link you see on the screen. And then once your royal icing is dry, we can apply our gold crosses. So simply flip it over and pipe some royal icing directly on the back of the cross. And then press the cross slightly, just don't press it too hard because it can break. And you can also add some decorative edge around the cross. I'm adding little dots. And as you see, I'm using a sandwich bag to pipe, but you can also use piping bags fitted with metal tip, or some people use parchment cones, whatever works for you. And I'm just finishing the cookie piping and outline. And then you need to let this dry for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then take a pearl mist spray and lightly spray the cookies to give them a little shine. I received a few emails asking me about how long does it take for the icing to dry on the cookies. Well, it takes several hours. Your safest bet would be to let it dry overnight if you want to be really safe. I usually let it dry at least 4 to 5 hours, depending on the weather. If it's humid, it may take longer. There are ways to speed up the drying process, and I will talk about it in another video. I also wanted to show you consistency of icing I'm using for piping the letters on these cookies. So I'm using a consistency similar to toothpaste. As you see, the peak is falling down, but it's not going flat, so it's probably a little thicker than a toothpaste. And if you'd like, you can also practice first on a piece of paper. I do that all the time. I always practice on a piece of paper to get a sense of the space, how big the letters I want them to be so they will fit on a cookie. And if you have a copy cake, this would be a perfect time to use it. I don't have a copy cake, so these are all hand piped without a guide. But you're welcome to use a copy cake. Any help for writing letters is great to have. And I find the hardest letter for me personally is probably S, capital S. And then also O can get a little tricky too. But I think I'm past the O. So now I'm going to add monogram, just a very simple monogram, nothing too complicated, nothing too fancy. And then I'm going to add 4 dots at the top and then 3 dots at the across, creating simple cross. And then let this dry for about 15 to 20 minutes, and we can decorate some of the lettering with gold luster dust. And I'm just finishing the cookie with an outline. Outline gives it a nice finished look. I think without it, it wouldn't just look the same. And I also wanted to show you what to do if you make a mistake, which I make all the time. So let's say you are piping and then suddenly, oh wow, I messed up, right? So it's easy to fix it. Just take this little tool and then scrape the icing, wipe it into a paper towel, and start over. And once the lettering is dry, you can paint it with gold luster dust. Gold luster dust is available at specialty stores, or you can also purchase it online. You can use it in wet form or dry form. This is a wet application mixed with alcohol. And last, this is a wafer. This is a simple round cookie that I flooded with royal icing, and icing has dried. So all I'm going to do is add our gold crosses that we made earlier. And to match the design on the chalice, I'm adding dots around the cross. And this will kind of unite all the 3 different shapes. And again, spraying these with pearl mist. And this is a finished platter. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get all the video updates via email.